My wife still loves her ex-boyfriend. I found out 3 months into our marriage when I borrowed her laptop. She left her email open, and there was a draft sitting right there. It was addressed to someone named Kevin. The message said things like, "I miss what we had, and sometimes I wonder what would have happened if we stayed together." I didn't confront her. Instead, I started paying attention. She had this old shoebox in the closet that she thought I never noticed. One day when she went grocery shopping, I opened it. Inside were ticket stubs from concerts, printed photos of them together, a dried flower, and letters he wrote her in college. Everything was organized like a shrine. Then I noticed her phone habits. Every Tuesday and Thursday around 8 p.m., she'd take her phone to the bathroom for 20 minutes. When she came out, she'd be in a better mood. I checked our phone bill online and saw she was texting a number I didn't recognize on those exact days and times. I saved that number in my phone as unknown. 2 weeks later at a work party, I was talking to my coworker Brad about fantasy football when his phone buzzed. He smiled at the screen and I caught a glimpse of the number. It was the same one from our phone bill. Brad works in my department. We share the same break room. I asked him casually if he went to college nearby, and he said yeah. He graduated from State about 6 years ago. Same school as my wife, same year. I went home that night and asked my wife how her day was. She said boring, just errands and cleaning. I asked if she talked to anyone interesting. She said no, just her mom on the phone for a few minutes. The next Tuesday, I told her I had to work late. Instead, I parked down the street and watched our house. At exactly 8 p.m., a car pulled up 3 houses down. Brad got out and stood by his car. My wife walked outside in her jogging clothes like she was going for a run. She jogged past our house and stopped at his car. They talked for 15 minutes. I took photos of everything. When she came back inside, I was sitting on the couch. She jumped when she saw me and asked why I was home. I said my meeting got canceled. She said she went for a quick jog. I asked her how far she went and she said around the block twice. I pulled out my phone and showed her the photos. Her face went white. She tried to say it wasn't what it looked like, that they were just friends catching up. I opened our phone bill on my laptop and showed her the months of messages. Then I pulled out my phone again and played a recording. I had called Brad earlier that day pretending to be from her phone carrier asking about account verification. He mentioned he was texting with my wife about meeting up next week when her husband was traveling for work. He said they'd been planning it for a while. She started crying and admitted Kevin was Brad's real name. He went by his middle name at work. They dated for 4 years in college and broke up when he moved for a job. They reconnected when he got hired at my company 6 months before our wedding. She said they were just talking and nothing physical happened. I told her to pack a bag. She asked where she was supposed to go. I said that wasn't my problem anymore. She called her sister and left that night. The next day I called a lawyer and filed for divorce. Brad got fired when I reported him to HR for harassment. I showed them the emails and messages where he knew she was married to me, his coworker, and continued anyway. 3 weeks later, she tried coming back saying she made a mistake and wanted to fix things. I had already changed the locks. She stood outside crying for an hour before her sister picked her up. Kevin tried texting me saying I overreacted and they really were just friends. I sent him the recording of our phone call and told him to lose my number.